to going to the gym. Now for me, originally I started going to the gym because I realised that girls would like me more if I had more muscles. Well, yeah, I mean that was essentially the reason why I started going to the gym. But what I've discovered is that the gym is not just for that. Once started originally as that is now something, I go to the gym now because I just feel happier. Again, it's like in the previous example about the idea of like if you just ate crap food for like 10 years and then you then spent 1 year eating like really good food and then you went back to that crap food a year after, you would feel so much more different. It's the same thing with exercise. Really, you feel like you don't even realize that you need it, but once you've started going to the gym and then once you stop going to the gym, within certain exceptions and reasons, you realize actually, well, at least in my own instance, I realize how like sad I am. I feel worse about myself, and not because it's like a kind of, oh, you're such like a lazy ass, but like I physically feel like I don't have any energy. Going to the gym actually like allows you to do, and this is this is not backed up by anything, but it's just going back to like the caveman ethos that you always hear about. But like, like hunter and gatherers for thousands of years, for maybe even hundreds of thousands of years, would have to expel themselves physically every single day, doing so many things, having to walk like tens of miles just to go and like catch a boar and eat that or something. They had to do so much labor-intensive work, and nowadays we don't have to do anything. I think a lot of the reasons why we feel low is because our bodies adapt to not really expending like that much energy. And really, when you go to the gym, you're actually allowing your body to kind of express itself in the way it kind of needed to. Now, for anyone that is already like doing some other sports, you don't really need to hear this. I will say it has some good positives that I would say it in a bit. But for the people that don't go to the gym, there's so much energy that you could have from your life, and there's so much happiness that you could get from your life if you went to the gym in a very specific way. Now, I think when a lot of people think about going to the gym or in these things, it's almost like it seems like it's a completely different world. There's like them, and then there's these fitness fanatics that have like waists that are about this wide, and then muscles that are about this wide. And you don't need to be like that. You don't need to do that. What I find from the gym is that it's almost like an adult playground. You get to go there and you get to do exercises which then like improve parts of your body, and if you use it in a way which is compatible with yourself, you can have fun in it. You don't have to go to the gym and give yourself this kind of standard of like, I've got to run 10k every single time I go, and I need to go twice a day every single day, or something like that. Just go small. Just start with small things and just do things that you actually enjoy. Like, I want to get bigger biceps, and as you can maybe see, I don't know, however you see it, I haven't really been to the gym in a while because I've been focused on my project management stuff. But I love the idea of getting bigger biceps for cosmetic reasons, and also just because it's kind of like fun. What I've also realized is that when you go to the gym, you gain more muscle, and you actually gain more like heat as well. So if you're in a hotter country, maybe this is going to be a bit more of a disadvantage. But I'm from the UK and it's very cold, and I would frequently go out when I was younger and be shaking and cold the whole time, and I would always be this kind of like fragile person. When I started going to the gym, I had so much more muscle on me, and I had therefore so much more kind of heat of me that I just felt warm. I feel more comfortable. I can just like spread myself out and kind of let my whole body take up as much space as it really needs to do. And you don't really get to do that if you don't do some kind of sport or something. that might sound like quite an abstract sense, but perhaps you'll get this if you maybe do go to the gym, or, you know. So what's the trade-off for going to the gym? Sure, like, you're going to get these benefits, like you're going to feel happier, you're going to actually have more energy to do things, and though maybe some people wouldn't believe it, you will get more attention from the other sex. And I don't think it's, or the same sex, depending on, you know, who you're trying to appeal to. But as a side note, I don't think it isn't a bad thing to want like more appealingness to the other group. I think it's like beneficial, like it's good, or to the, you know, the people you're interesting in you. That I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you know. But anyway, so as well as having those benefits, everything's a trade-off. You have to trade some things for other things. And what are these things you're going to have to do, or what are some of these things you're going to have to lose in order to get those other things? You can't get something for nothing. I would say that they're probably a lot less than you think that they are. If you thought that the trade-off was the same way that I think about the trade-off, you would be going to the gym, in my opinion. No, you just would be, because you'd be thinking like me. I would say that a lot of the things that people think about the gym, which is why they don't start, are actually like, they're not there. So people think that you have to go to the gym like every single day, you have to do like 10 hours, you have to be physically exhausted at the end of it, all this stuff. You don't, like, if you want to have less fat on you, exercise actually isn't really like as effective at losing that. More like calorie deficiency is better for that. If you type that in, a calorie deficit, if you type that in up on YouTube, you can find guides that will help you out with that, and that's more instrumental to cutting like fat. But we don't want to just shrink things. We want to enhance things about ourselves, and that's what going to the gym or doing any exercise or any sport will bring you. Being able to go to the gym is being able to move your body better. It's being able to have more power. It's being able to have more effect in the world. It's being able to it's about being able to do more with your life. It's about being able to not be limited by the same things that you used to be limited to. So what are those trade-offs? Okay, you don't have to go every single day. You don't have to do 5 hours every single time. You don't even have to do things you don't want to do. When you go to the gym, start by just going in, and it may feel intimidating. When you go to the gym for the first time, you want to hopefully go with someone who will be able to introduce you to all of the things and show you how to do things. You know, sometimes it can be quite nerve-wracking going in and feeling like you might look like a stupid person and you feel like everyone might laugh at you or something. But if you go in with the mindset of like, hey, I'm here to improve my life, and these other people are here to improve their life, which is the way that they're thinking, otherwise they wouldn't be there, then you understand why people wouldn't, like, sure, there might be some of the immature people who may laugh at you or anything, but in the long run, I don't know, you're probably not going to see them for that long. And also, at the end of the day, like, that's only a very small amount of people. A lot of people would just be like, hell yeah, like it's really good that you're doing this. Like, they'll feel happy for you. And so, when you go to the gym, you want to start by hopefully being with someone who you know, who you're friends with, who can show you how to do certain things the appropriate way. If you haven't got anyone like that, that's completely okay. Most of the machines, they will have like diagrams of things, and just experiment. Like, even if you're not even necessarily doing it correctly, just like keep the weight at a kind of low amount so it's actually easy to do, or it's easy to do but with like a tiny bit of challenge, and just move your body, because moving your body is going to be better than not moving your body. So even if you go into the gym for the first time and you just walk around, and you walk with your hands behind your back and You look as though like you're, I don't know, some kind of inspector. Congratulations, you've walked for that day. So you've done more exercise than you would have done if you would have not gone to the gym. I don't know, yeah, like, and not done anything else. Just do something, like just do the smallest thing. Look up videos online on the internet and see how people are, like, if it's a bicep curl, see how they're doing it. If it's, I don't know, whatever. And then just try things. Don't even try and push yourself. Just do something easy, and then think to yourself, hang on, like, I can push myself a little bit further on this. What could I do? And then just put up just a tiny bit, and do it, and do like a, like a shoulder press or anything like that, or whatever. And yeah, just kind of like, I think the most important thing, and the thing that I've always taken from the gym, is that the gym is the playground, like it's the playground for the adult. And so treat it that way. Just do things that you find are cool and fun to do. There's no point going to this thing and being miserable about it all, because if you're miserable about it, like, why would you put yourself through misery unless it was like a very specific kind of misery that you know is going to bring you a better reward. Now, some things in life are worth suffering over. They're maybe not worth like being miserable over, but they're worth, or maybe they even are worth being miserable over. There are definitely things that are worth suffering for. For instance, suffering in a career that does have a future and you do have control over, like, I don't know, maybe, for instance, maybe having your own business, or suffering like how athletes suffer for their work, or how writers will, there are plenty of examples of how suffering in your life is actually a beautiful thing to do. But you don't have to suffer for everything. Not all the suffering in the world is necessary. And so when you're going to the gym, you don't have to suffer just to get the rewards. You can do things that you actually enjoy and find fun and you find motivating and you're excited by, and you don't have to suffer and also still find reap the rewards of exercise. And so that's the way I look at the gym. Just go there and just try each of the different things, see what you're innately better at, and if you find that fun, just try that. And just like with everything, what you focus on expands. So if you hang out more and more at the gym, you're going to meet more and more people. You might even make friends with other people, and then that's going to lead to other things where you have like maybe even a new friendship group, maybe new friends. What I found for myself is, I got more into diet. I've got more into kind of understanding some of these other things like flexibility, stamina, and whatever that one's called about your heart and breathing, or forgotten. But you'll eventually be able to go, okay, well, yeah, I'm interested in trying this other thing, or I'm interested in trying this other thing. And it will just naturally grow. You won't have to do anything, because you'll just be effortlessly curious about things, and you'll just move to more things that you find interesting. It's just like saving money. So, with that ramble out the way, what are the trade-offs that you're going to have to make? Well, you're going to have to dedicate some kind of monetary or time form to whatever you're doing. You are going to have to, that's a requisite of doing anything in life. You are going to have to spend some time on it. So this can even just be like dedicating 1 hour This could be, for instance, just spending an hour, maybe once a week, then later on, when you're actually finding it fun, then spending maybe 2 hours once a week, and then you'll see how it goes on from there. but just spend maybe an hour just like going to the gym and just doing some, like, a couple of exercises that you do find fun. You don't even, with all of these things, if you find it challenging, break it down into something that seems so impossibly easy. Well, no, wait, no, I don't know. Not impossibly, whatever. But just break it down into something that's so easy that you could be like, well, yeah, of course I can do that. So, you know, if you want to get into reading, break it down into, like, oh, I can't read a whole book. Okay, no, that's okay. Just read a chapter. Oh, I can't read a whole chapter. Okay, just read a page. I can't read a whole page. Okay, just read a sentence. I don't know. I don't even feel like I can read a sentence these days. Okay, just read a word. Okay, well, and even if you felt like you can't even read a word, just read a letter. Break any of these things down into such a small amount that it seems silly that you think, okay, well, I can't do that. And then just set that as the standard. And then when you get bored of that standard and you feel like you can accomplish that, step it up to the next thing. And then when you get bored of that, step it up to the next thing. And then just find a place where you feel comfortable. And ultimately, comparison is the thief of joy. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. If you're doing something to improve your life and push it forward, you're doing something for yourself. You're going to make your life better. Maybe others have more effective ways of doing things, given their circumstances. Maybe there's even things that you can learn from them. What's going on here? I hope. But at the end of the day, you are kind of the judge of your own life. No one else can really understand how you experience the world as much as you can if you are fully conscious of all of it. And so spend a lot of time just kind of like, and just find ways to make this manageable and enjoyable. So this, yeah, again, might just be spending, if you can't dedicate an hour a week, spend half an hour. If you can't even do that, just spend 10 minutes. Just spend 10 minutes today looking up exercises to do that are fun. And then just do a couple. And if they're not fun, don't do them again. Just find something else to do. The whole point of exercise is to be able to feel happy and excited about expanding and using your body. And if you're not feeling that, then there's no point in doing it. You don't need to. There are very much other ways that you can find enjoyment in expanding and pushing your body in a way that will make you feel good about things. So again, to try and essentialize the ramble, what are the things that you're going to have to trade? You're going to have to trade some time, and you're going to have to trade some energy. But the funny thing is, your body gets used to expanding that energy, and so you rest better, and you also gain energy, which is a very weird thing, but it happens. You actually have more energy during the day. So if you wanted more energy in the day, like a standalone from anything else, you should also just do exercise, because that will actually gain you more energy, even despite you expanding energy to do it. It's another beautiful example of how when we focus on something, it expands. When we give more time and attention to something, it only develops more and more and more, and we can see more and more, and we gain more and more knowledge, and we gain more and more capabilities, and it's a perfect example of growth mindset. There are also some other trade-offs, and this is actually later on. Now, I would say that a trade-off is that you can overwork yourself, and you can put yourself in this position where you feel absolutely exhausted from the gym. I would say that that's from using the gym in the wrong way. Like, one of my friends, she is currently trying to lose weight, so she's spent the last month going to the gym every single day, working there for like 3 hours, and then she feels exhausted. And because of that, it's been like maybe 1 or 2 weeks since she last went. And so this is what I'm trying to say. Don't do it like that. Just do stuff that you find enjoyable. You don't need to push yourself that hard. The real rewards will come from just doing the little bits that you enjoy every single day. It's just like if you were going to learn a language, which one's going to be the better way? Is it going to be sitting down, doing nothing else with your life, and just intensely learning a language, and then never doing it again? Or is it going to be going on Duolingo, spending 5 minutes a day, learning a little bit, but because you're doing it for that long, and then you're going to keep on doing it for the whole of your life, how much more like knowledge and understanding you're going to have of that language. It's going to be infinitely more than if you were to do super intense and then never do it again. And it's the same thing with the gym. The whole point of the gym is that we want to feel like we can move and be free and be happy with our lives. And we don't want that as just a temporary thing. We want to feel good about ourselves for the whole of our life. So make it sustainable and proportionate to your life as it is, so that you can maintain it and keep it going for the whole of your life. Remember, practice eternity. And this is for the people who are more advanced in this, which is maybe not the people who are watching this, but if it is, a lot of people also, with specifically the gym, you can actually become less flexible, which is quite ironic from what I was saying, but you can end up doing like very specific movements and you can become actually inflexible in other areas. I think that this is an issue that people who've been doing the gym for ages find, but usually if you've been in it for that long, you're already engaged with it, you already understand, or you already feel how important exercise is for you, and so you've started to engage more in flexibility and mobility and all these things. So it's not really an issue anyway. It is a trade-off, but when you get to that point in that trade-off, it's something that will you can deal with better. I would also say that actually going to the gym has taught me some other things. You don't have to do the gym. You can do exercise. You can do group classes. The most important thing is you do something you find enjoyment in. That's exercise. That's literally the only reason why you'd want to do these things. I find that when I used to do home workouts, when I used to do press-ups on the floor, I just didn't see as much development as I wanted to see in my muscles. And so I found that when I went to the gym, I was actually able to make a lot more progress. I did the usual thing, get protein powder, drink that after the gym, try and eat a lot of like protein, and that's basically it. And because I was able to see those results from the gym, like that's why I'm saying that this is important to do, rather than saying like, oh, do home workouts or do this thing or that thing. And also an incidental thing is, a lot of people are kind of the opposite in this. Like they say, oh no, like I like gym workouts because it's like right there and I don't have to put the effort into going somewhere else. But I find that if it's there, if it's like at home, I just don't do it. If it's like exercise, I'm like, oh well, it's right there, I don't have to think about it. But if I have to go to the gym, I have to physically leave this area and I have to go somewhere else. And so it helps actually separate things for me. And like it's an intentional thing I have to actually build into the day. So I actually end up doing it, rather than going like, yeah, I suppose I could go to the just go and do an exercise now. Because then what goes into my head is thinking, oh no, but I've got this other thing I need to deal with right now. There's this other thing I need to do. I think two of the most important things that the gym has taught me are more deeper and philosophical. The first one is the need for consistency and therefore the principle of sustainability. Now, this is what I was talking about back then. The gym, and just like all of these things, it's not good to do just like quick fixes to things. The real things that are going to give you benefits in life is when you change your viewpoint on something and you find a way how to do it more sustainably. The whole point of the gym isn't just to get slim for one summer. The whole point of the gym is to feel great and have a great body that can exercise itself for the whole of your life. That can really like open up so many areas of your life. And so when you go to the gym and you overwork yourself, you physically see how you can't control that. And so in order to be able to go to the gym effectively, you need to do things sustainably. And I think that this is also a larger, broader thing as well. If you overwork yourself, you can't work sustainably. If you overindulge in things like junk food or alcohol or drugs or anything like that, it's going to start limiting, it's even going to start limiting your ability to actually continue doing them as well. So so it teaches you like this kind of idea of like you've got to go with what your body is used to, because this is the instrument that you're using to exercise. You have to just go with what it says, and I think that's actually a very helpful viewpoint to have for life as well. And the second one, which I've already been talking about with the growth mindset thing, is that the gym teaches you that when you put focus on something, you grow in that area. You physically see this, like physically and literally, in how your body is structured and how it appears to other people. And that same principle can be applied to everything. It's the epitome of the physical like manifestation of the growth principle, because your muscles literally grow. It defeats any idea that you can never get better at anything, and it completely and utterly destroys that just by showing you. You know, when you put that work in, when you put that little bit in, over time, slowly, you come to just really, like, you come to expand and grow, and your horizons change. The things that you think are possible about yourself and about your life change as well. And that isn't just something that can simply grow, like, be implemented at the gym. It can apply to social settings. You know, you can kind of do. It can apply to money. It can apply to. Can apply to video games. It can apply to your understanding of literature. It can apply to cooking. It can apply to anything. You know, the way I started thinking about cooking, because I was terrible at it, what really helped me was thinking about the gym. The whole point of cooking, like, I've been terrible at cooking, but the whole point of cooking is that you do reps of cooking, and you just repeat it, and you get better and better at it. And that's what the gym teaches you, that if you repeat something, you're gonna get better at it. And it's okay to not be terrible. It's okay not to be perfect at something, because if you just practice it enough times, you will be good at it. And I think that's probably one of the most fundamentally, like, powerful and helpful thoughts to have about